After 5 years of running with so many different gimbals, I decided it was time for an upgrade. So why did I decide to pick the MoVi Pro over the Ronin 2? As a mainly Ronin user, I dabbled with the Ronin M, the Ronin S, the Ronin 1, and even the Ronin 2, and all of them were really good. They worked amazing, and honestly, I loved them. I loved all the Ronin series, so why did I decide to pick a MoVi Pro? With all this new gear I'm getting, I needed something that could carry a heavier load. The Ronin 2 is just a bit too heavy. The Ronin 2 comes in at 15 pounds alone, with no camera added on at all. The gimbal itself is 15 pounds. The MoVi Pro comes in at a nice light 6 pounds. That's a huge difference, especially when you're carrying that thing without a ready rig. It's not as practical to carry around the Ronin 2 without a ready rig because you're literally going to break your back. And that is something that I did not want to do because I didn't want to spend an extra $1,000 or $2 just to buy a ready rig to operate the Ronin 2. I also think that a ready rig is really restricting for a lot of different movements that I like to do. Having the MoVi Pro opens that option for me as the lighter weight option that still is able to carry those heavier loads. That's a win for the MoVi. As far as a price point, the MoVi Pro comes in at $6,500 and the Ronin 2 comes in at a whopping $8,000. Of course, both are a lot, but it's easier to find a used MoVi Pro than it is to find a used Ronin 2. So I bought a used MoVi Pro for $3,500 and spent an extra $2,500 on accessories to deck out the MoVi Pro. Now that is a plus for me because I am saving a lot of money. I don't require a ready rig to make it practical for use, and well, it just looked really good. For the Ronin 2, I may wanted to have gotten accessories, and I would definitely need a ready rig, so I'd be spending around $10,000 to $12,000 rather than the $5,000 to $6,000 that I spent on my MoVi Pro total. Another win for the MoVi Pro. And as I've been talking about all of this, let's talk about the ease of use. The MoVi Pro is a lot more practical when it comes down to solo op or even just no ready rig use. Just run and gun kind of in a way, but not necessarily run and gun. But we set everything up, we're ready to go. It's really lightweight, super easy to use, and you're not gonna get fatigued as quickly. When it comes down to the Ronin 2, it is more up to date, there are more features, it is more recent. But it is so heavy and you're gonna get fatigued after just like a minute or two of use. And trust me when I say I've used it with a red weapon on there and I honestly just hated my life after 30 seconds of using it. Now, of course, you can always say, yeah, I can endure this, and I can endure it too. But the thing is, you don't wanna have to endure it. It's not something that you really want to do, but you can if you really needed to. You really don't want to be running around with a 25, 30 pound rig in your hands without a ready rig and stuff, you know? So when it comes down to it, I'm gonna give this win to the MoVi as well, because ease of use is super important, especially for people like me, freelance, who don't usually have a team and don't really have the budget or make the budget to rent out specific gear like the ready rig or other things that might help you shoot on the Ronin 2. Next thing is going to be the firmware. I've had a lot of issues with Ronin firmware. Even my Ronin S still has issues with drifting. Now, I've done every solution there is, but it still ends up drifting, and the Ronin 2's firmware is kind of annoying sometimes. I'm gonna have to give it to the MoVi because I haven't had any issues with the firmware coming out of the MoVi. I've never really heard of any issues that actually came with the MoVi firmware, so I'm gonna have to give this one to MoVi. I've also heard a lot about the Ronin 2 and how sometimes the roll or the tilt axis drifts and whatnot. This one is going to be a win for DJI and the Ronin though. The software that comes with the Ronin and all of the DJI products is actually really good. To be able to connect it to a computer, see all of the firmware updates, see everything, downgrade things, and reset and factory reset everything straight out of the computer when you connect it is actually really nice. It's a lot better than looking at a tiny screen like you have to on the MoVi. However, the MoVi MoVi does have an app on the phone, but as I was using it, I kind of found it a little bit confusing to navigate around, and DJI is just so organized. I love the DJI app when it comes to programming your stabilizer and just overall updating and firmware updating and all of that. They're really good with their software, so I'm gonna have to give this one to DJI. Now, I've wanted the MoVi for about 2 to 3 years now, ever since I used it for the first time. I love the feel, I love the look, and I love the potential and capabilities of the MoVi Pro. It just feels really good to use, especially with all these Ignite Digi products that I was actually able to purchase and install onto my MoVi. It really decked it out and made it look super cool. That accent of orange looks really good. I was never really a fan of orange, but when it comes down to that MoVi, it just looks super, super clean. And I love the way it looks, I love the way it feels, and I love the way it works. I'm gonna be using it for, indefinitely now. It's gonna be my main gimbal when it comes down to a lot of different projects. So hopefully it grows on me, it works really well, and I probably will give you guys an update on it in a few months and tell you guys how I'm doing with it. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. That is all for today's video, guys. I hope you guys liked this video. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Drop me a comment below. Let me know, do you prefer the MoVi or the Ronin? Are you a Ronin or a MoVi user? What do you think is better? Let me know in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't already subscribed. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Have an amazing day, morning, night, wherever you're watching from. Keep pushing buttons, and I'll see you next time. Peace.